Everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Caitlin. What we're going to do is a Yin Yoga class. So Yin Yoga is slightly different than the yoga we generally practice, which would be considered a Yang or a more dynamic type of yoga. Yin is a lot slower, so instead of really using our muscular strength and lots of energy to get ourselves into the postures, here we apply the postures for a lot longer and we apply them a lot slower. So it's the female principle if we think of the yin and the yang. And I think maybe a more interesting way for me to explain it would actually be to give you a demonstration. So if we think of yin postures as working our connective tissue, where yang postures might more predominantly work our muscles, so helping us develop strength, connective tissue essentially connects our entire being. So the organs, the ligaments, the joints are all involved and all connected with this tissue. So if we consider our body to be this bag, like for instance this Myers bag, and the connective tissue to be its entirety, if I go along and just pull it, I can rip it really easily. It's not very safe for me just to apply brute force to the bag. However, if I want to stretch this bag or this connective tissue, if I apply gentle pressure, slowly putting pressure on this bag and pulling, rather than going in with brute force and doing a rip, I can in fact stretch this bag. I can extend this bag in a way that I can't when I just pull. So we can think of Yin Yoga as perhaps doing this slow, gradual stretching of our connective tissues, and it takes a little bit longer, but it allows us a different and complementary experience what Yang offers. I hope that makes sense. So let's get started. I've chosen to use my bed, quite literally, because you can make this a really comfortable, relaxing, cozy practice if you'd like. You are more than welcome to just put your yoga mat down on the floor anywhere that suits you. Alright, so the first posture we're going to do is called Sleeping Swan. Sleeping Swan is a lot like the Yang Pigeon. I'll get you just to bring your right heel into the center line of your body and let your left leg go directly behind you like a pigeon's tail. So you have your right heel into your midpoint and your right thigh comes straight ahead, a bent knee. Now you may feel a bit uncomfortable here. It's okay for you to pad under your hips. Just make use of the props that are around you. I think pillows are fantastic for this sort of a practice. And we're going to be leaning forward, so you may choose to put a pillow out in front of you. You're trying to feel the stretch in through your side hip. Maybe lean a little to the left or a little to the right, experiment. And once you've found a sweet sensation of a stretch, start to lean forward. So you can go onto your pillow, you can go down just onto your bed or your yoga mat, wherever you're practicing. Readjust as you need to and then start to get really comfortable. So when you lay yourself down, you can essentially close your eyes, relax your head, just find a way where you can ease into this. This practice is about applying the posture really slowly and gradually so the effects of the stretch will pool over time. If you jump right away into your maximum, there's nowhere else to really go, so ease into it. Now I would lie down, but I feel like my voice won't project very well, so I'm going to keep my head upright, but feel free just to lie your head right down. Close your eyes if you'd like to. And when you're here, when you're in this posture, can you feel a really strong sensation? Is there something that you can breathe really deeply into, something that really catches your attention? And I'd like you to just notice what that sensation's like. Is it really stagnant Or is it fluid? Is it warm or is it cool? Is it somewhere in between? What sort of temperature does it have? How far does it seem to stretch? You know, what's it like, I guess, within your body? Where does it go? Does it seem really dense, or is it a bit softer? Is there some give? I'd like you to explore this sensation as a meditation, a way of connecting with your body. Allowing yourself to just see what you're working with, essentially, in this moment. And what's going on with your exhales? Are you possibly able to use your exhales to ease you a little bit deeper into the posture? The exhale is like a surrender, a letting go, and often that means we let go of some tension. Just take your last couple of exhales now to ease into your maximum for this posture. And then take your next inhale to make your way back up to a seated position. Shift your body weight over to the right and bring your legs forward in front of you for a moment, just feeling the effect of that posture, feeling the difference in the sides of your legs. And then we'll bring the left leg in. So bring your left heel into the center line of your body and let your right leg go back behind you. Lean yourself over the leg. So just get yourself nice up straight. Again, if you feel like padding around your hips with pillows, if that's helpful, by all means. Or get a nice pillow out in front of you. So find your stretch, and then with an exhale, lie yourself down. So allow yourself to fall forward into this posture. Again, you can stretch your arms forward, you can relax your head down, however you find it most comfortable. And then start to follow your breath. So using those exhales once again to work your way into the posture. And I would encourage you once again to explore with that experience of finding a strong sensation and letting that be your meditation point. Focusing on it, following on it. So with your eyes perhaps closed, find the strongest sensation in your body right now. And define its properties, its edges. Where does it go? Start to notice whether it's warm or cool, its temperature. Whether it's really stagnant or if it's more fluid. And the density, is it really dense or is it soft? It might also be worth noticing if there's any emotion attached to this sensation. Emotion is energy in motion, and often when we feel sensation in our body, there's corresponding emotions. And I think you would find that if you paid attention to what was happening in your body when you were feeling a particular emotion, there would be a corresponding sensation. So So we just have to listen and pay attention to these things. Let's see what's there. So keep following your exhales, taking your last couple of exhales to find what sort of depth is accessible for you at this moment. And then use an inhale to work your way back up. Again, we'll just bring our legs out in front of us for a moment and feel what sort of sensation is there. The next posture we're going to ease into is butterfly. So for butterfly, bring your left leg out and bring your right heel into the center line of your body, bringing the sole of your right foot approximately against the thigh, and then turn your hips to face the left leg and just lie yourself out over the leg, allowing yourself to relax into this. So again, cushions are a really good prop. You can put a cushion over your leg, or many cushions are nearby, and lie yourself down onto that to find comfort and relaxation so you can really breathe into the posture. So when you're doing this, allow yourself to slightly bend your knee as you need to. You don't want this to be so strenuous that you can't breathe. And start to evaluate whether you're feeling it more in your back or your legs. And then notice what happens if you, for instance, round your back a bit more. Does that change it to be more of a leg stretch? Or if you straighten your leg, what happens in the back? Just start to notice how the two of them are related. If you bend your knee, what happens in your back? It's going to subtly change the sensation of the stretch, and you want to work with what feels appropriate for you in this moment. So again, easing into it with the exhales. Keep following those exhales, and I'll get you to start finding your final exhales. So as you follow these final exhales, where do you go to today? Where do you go to in this moment? What's available for you? And then use an inhale to come up. Move any cushions you might have. Just bring your legs out to the front for a second, see how they're feeling. And then bring your right leg out, your left heel in, and then you're going to turn your body to the right this time. Again, you can grab a pillow if that feels appropriate. Allow yourself to get comfortable. Do you want your knees slightly bent? Do you want your spine straight? Do you want your legs straight? Do you want your spine rounded? Have a bit of a play with how these things feel in your body, and you might notice that one needs a bit of extra attention, or one maybe feels less desirable or less useful for you in this moment. It's ultimately all about utility. What sensation, what stretch is going to be useful for your body, for you, for your mind. So find a place and then start to ease into it, following your exhale once again. as you're exploring, you might choose once again to find that strong sensation that you can focus on, that you can follow. What does it feel like for you? Does this side feel any different than the last side? Can you breathe into that difference? I'm going to get you to start following into your final exhales to really ease into what is available there for you in this moment. So explore those edges, those sensations, those emotions. And then with an inhale, make your way back up. We'll bring the legs out in front of you. Just notice how you're feeling. The next posture we're going to do is a really strong posture for your knees, your ankles, and your hips. It's called straddle posture, and we'll err on the side of caution in this one. You don't want to test the knees. It's going to be uncomfortable, but breathe normal. If there's a really strong sensation, ease off. You can practice this tomorrow. You don't need to do it right at this exact moment in time. So let's see how we go. For straddle, what I'll get you to do is just to come up onto your knees, and you want about 6 inches between your knees and your feet so that you'd be able to sit your hips back between your heels, if that's where your body goes to. However, if the knees are uncomfortable, you can start to open the knees wider, or if the ankles are uncomfortable. You can even start to put some pillows behind you, so to pad under your rear, or even behind your knees, so that limits the angle of the knees. If you're not on a comfortable bed, you can also put pillows underneath your knees, so that's a bit more comfortable, and then start to ease back down between your heels. So start making your way to your depth. If you are able to bring your hips back down between your heels, then you start to bring your knees closer together. So wherever you are, we're just going to hold this. Know that we're holding this one a little bit shorter duration. We don't need to hold it as long, we do need to go slow. So if you're on your cushions, just work on breathing there. Wherever you're at, find your inhale and your exhale, and see if a bit of depth will eventuate over time. As a bit of motivation, I've seen someone come into a yoga class with stacks of pillows. I think he had 3 pillows to begin with. And over the course of 2 years, he didn't have any pillows anymore. And that's a duration, 2 years is a duration, but slowly but surely we apply these postures, and that makes progress in our bodies. Our bodies change when we apply the postures diligently. So take your last couple of exhales, and then wherever you are, make your way back out. Remove the props that you need to, and bring your legs in front of you. Next, we're going to do folded posture, which is a lot like the hip opener that you might have seen called wind removing posture. So what I'll get you to do from our straight-legged position is just to lie yourself down on your back. Now, bring your right leg up, interlock your 10 fingers, grab your leg 2 inches below the knee, and just start to pull that knee down towards your shoulder. What we're going to do here that might be a little bit different, that you might not have seen before, is we're going to work with our breath. So on our exhale, pull the knee in. On the inhale, let it come out. On the exhale, pull the knee in. On the inhale, let it come out. So just work with the rhythm of your own breath for these next few moments. just on your next exhale, hold it in. Breathe into what sensation might be presenting in the hip. And then you can release it. Now, call the left leg up to you. Interlock your 10 fingers. Pull the knee down to the left shoulder, avoiding the rib cage. Right leg stays flat on the bed or on the ground. So again, you can start to work to the rhythm of your own breath. Letting the leg go forward with the inhale and back down into you with the exhale. Just hold it in there, keeping it in one place for these last few moments, and then release. The last one we'll do is drawing both our legs up. Now you're going to grab your elbows each other over your calves the best you can. You can grab your forearms or your hands if that's not available, even taking both your hands to your shins if that feels better. Wherever you feel that you're going to get pressure. So bringing those knees into your chest, with the inhale allowing them to release, with the exhale drawing them back into your chest. Inhale, releasing. Keep going at your own speed, in whatever way feels suited to you. One, just hold those knees in there, and you can rock a little side to side or front to back if that feels right for you. And then release. Just lay down flat for a moment, let the blood flow back into the abdominal area. And then you can make your way back up, rolling to the side, however you'd like. The next posture is going to require a wall. If a wall is not accessible, I will show you how to do it on the floor once we get into it. So I'm going to use the headboard as my wall. It's called Dragonfly, and it's essentially like a straddle, a separate leg position. So if you're going to use a wall, you just have to make sure you can get your butt in close to the wall. So in my case, that involves moving pillows. So you shimmy in quite close to the wall. You can face sideways and then lie down onto your back and just bring your legs into the wall and then separate them. Now this is going to look different depending on your body. Your legs can be up high, just leaning against the wall or the headboard, or you can start to separate them down. You want to be feeling a strong stretching sensation. And you can put your hands on your abdomen or out to the side, or apply a little pressure to see if those legs will go down a little bit more. Go gently. We're going to be here for a few moments. So again, using those exhales as you ease into it. Now if you're in it, just stay here, keep breathing. If this one doesn't feel appropriate, follow me and we're going to do it in the forward position. So coming out of it, you just again bring your legs back to the side and we'll try something else. So similar to straddle, which is what we do in that Yin practice, you're just going to bring your legs out. Now with this one, we're going for So you can choose to stack a few pillows in front of you if that's going to feel appropriate, and lean into that for some relaxation. Depending on your flexibility, you may have more or less pillows to ease forward, and you may have your legs open to a different degree, depending on what feels okay for you. So stack up as many pillows as you'd like and ease forward into it. I'm gonna continue against the headboard and continue talking to you from there. So figure out whether you're gonna be going forward or if you're going against the wall. Now again, find a strong sensation that you can focus on that can essentially provide you your meditation, and breathe into that. If you're starting to notice emotions rising, rather than closing down your feelings, your experiencing of them, see if you can breathe into them and see what sort of a shape, what sort of a structure those emotions have. If they're related to the stretching, what sort of tension is being released? There's a saying, it's better out than in, and if we're able to feel, to experience our emotions here, we're allowing them to leave our body, so we're not holding all of that history with us. Start to explore your exhales, knowing that we're on our way out of the posture quite soon. So what do those exhales hold for you? Where do they bring you? What's here today? And then find an inhale to make your way back out, bringing your hands under the legs if you're against the wall. Push your legs up as you need to. You can bend your knees. Take a moment if you're feeling a little bit numb or a little bit weird or off, and then you can make your way to your side and make your way back forward. To stretch this one out, we'll come into caterpillar posture, so just bringing your legs out in front of you. We're going to fold ourselves forward, so you can bring a pillow under your chest if you would like to, maybe even two, and just lean forward and start to fall into your posture. So figure out what's going to be most comfortable, most easeful for you. In this one, you want to bend your knees a little bit and just notice how that allows you to also then stretch into your back. Can you keep your back a little bit straighter? Does that feel okay? Or would you prefer to round it? Again, seeing what feels right for you, what feels helpful. As you're applying the posture, are you finding a little bit more depth moment by moment? Are you able to use those exhales to ease forwards? Keep following those exhales as we're nearing the end of this posture. And then use an inhale to make your way back up. Allowing your spine to come to a straight position. We're going to finish off doing a spine twist. So lie down on your back. And I'll get you to cross your left leg over the right leg. Stretch your arms out to the side. And then take your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. And if you would like to, you can apply some gentle pressure to the leg if that feels appropriate. Or you can keep both your feet on the ground if it doesn't feel okay for you. Figure out what works. As you turn your head to the left, you may become aware that you can try and get the left shoulder more down to the ground. You may choose to extend the right arm. This one's a little bit shorter, so start to ease into it. Apply those exhales. Take your last couple of exhales and then bring your knees back to center and cross the legs, and then cross your right leg over the left. Bring your knees to the left and turn your head to the right. You can choose if you want to apply a little bit of pressure with your hand, figuring out what works for you, maybe extending the arm, and then start to ease into it. Notice how one side might feel different than the other. And breathe here. So use those exhales, knowing we're coming to the end of this class, this practice, and this final twist is really just to wring the system out, to twist out the internal organs, to wring out the intervertebral discs. It's slowly applied to stretch these areas. With an inhale, come back through center and cross the legs. And take your legs out at a bit of an angle and your arms out at a bit of an angle, coming into pentagon. So the yin version of savasana, just giving yourself a bit more space. If that doesn't feel comfortable, of course, adjust. Find a place where you feel comfortable. If you want to put a blanket over you or, a hot water bottle on your stomach, by all means, get comfortable here. And as you lay here, allow yourself to come to your breath, to your inhale and to your exhale. If you have your eye on the video, know that in a moment I'm going to sit up because I'm going to read you a poem. But I'd like you to just stay lying down in this pentagon position, allowing yourself to feel the energy, the sensation that runs through you. I'm going to read you the poem Desiderata. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always, there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere. Life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars, you have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul, with all its shame, drudgery, and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. So if you're lying down on your back, just start to wiggle a little bit your fingers and your toes, bringing your awareness back into the body, into the room. And then bend your knees into your chest and roll to your right hand side. Take your left hand palm down to the right side of your body. And then when you're ready, you can push through the left hand and straighten the left leg to help make your way to a seated position. If you would like to chant an Om with me, you're welcome to. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed your yin practice. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Bye for now.